live. And let me go to...
When I forget we are one, and I regret things that I've done, I go within my heart and soul. I start again knowing I'm home. God is right here where I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. When things go wrong and my way is dark, and when I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again knowing I'm home. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender, let it be. Loving Spirit dwells in me, now and evermore. Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. As within, so without. All I need is here and now. Where there's air, let me love. May I have no fear. All the power, all the glory, I surrender,
my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life. I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, your light, your love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, caress I feel. When I listen, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, your light, your love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. Light-a-dee-di-dee-di, light-a-dee-di-dee-di, light-a-dee-di-di-di-di, light-a-dee-di-dee-di, light-a-dee-di-dee-di, light-a-dee-di-di-di. When I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt, when I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. In you is me. Whoa. You're always there, you never leave. You're holding me, you set me free. A guiding light, your empathy, your confidence to express in and there's me. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing that I'm perfect, I'm golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my
fences and held my defenses in front of me, not knowing my heart was imprisoned till you gave me wisdom to find the key. I'm ready to begin. I'm open and love's coming in when you move through me, when you move through me. You give me the confidence to take back my innocence through. I've always I start my day with love. Wanna start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. Wanna start my day with love. That's what I get more of, is love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I start my day with love. When I start my day with love, that's what I get more of, is love. I choose love, love, love. Love, love, love. I choose it, love, love, love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. I choose peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 peace. I feel it, peace, 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 peace. I choose peace, I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy, and I feel that sweet release. I start my day.
each day a little kinder.
Let me talk each day a little.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day. You've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really did not let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Say I release all and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday celebration service. I'm Reverend Doug. I feel like I'm in cockpit central of the universe here, getting, everything going. Deborah Kern said, we found you. Elizabeth's here. Mary's here. Charles and, Charles and Julie are here. Oh, a bunch of you are here. So good morning and welcome to our high def. Now, several comments last week said that these hanging thing end of the sanctuary. I also want to remind everybody that if for some reason we get bumped off this week, come right back. If we get bumped off, we shouldn't, because I haven't done anything this week that should incur any kind of a copyright infringement from YouTube. So, but let's get started with some prayer. I'm going to put on a little bit of prayer music here. Let's see how this sounds. That's good. It's probably a little bit loud. Let me turn that down just a little bit. And I'll just mute it down on my own system here. Let's take a breath. breathing in some oxygen together. Here we are together, virtually. Of course, spirit is non-corporeal. We are one in the life of God, one in spirit. And what I know is that there is one life, and that life is divine. And that life is my life now, and the life of each of us, members of the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, our family, our friends, our community, and our world. We are all sheltering in place, and yet spirit is non-corporeal. There is no space or time in our conscious connection with God. As I'm going to talk about today, our principle of being is that God is all there is. And what we think and what we believe has a direct influence on what we experience. And so today, I just simply bless this time that we spend together. I bless our service time, our celebration time. I bless every member of our community. I speak a word of health and well-being for each of us as we knowingly and consciously and mindfully do what we need to do for the health of ourselves and others. I simply bless this time that we spend together. And in gratitude, I release this word into the loving action of the law, lovingly impersonal and mechanically accurate, and knowing that all is well. And as I let it be and I let it go, together we affirm this blessing by saying, and so it is. And so it is. The fixer of all things, that's Steve Colucci. He says, what was that thing about the tapestries? Well, Steve, that thing about the tapestries was that these tapestries behind me right up here, many people mentioned that when I sit in a certain position, they look like they were coming out of my head like horns. So I've attempted to place myself in a different place here on the pulpit, on the virtual pulpit, which is actually in my studio against a green screen, which if I show you what it looks like this. It looks like this. So, green screen. Okay, so, well, good morning. And let's take a look now at our promises. And let's say these together as we do every Sunday. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. Well, let's assure who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. We are life. We are life. We are light. We are love. We are joy. We are peace. We are wisdom and beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. Okay, from the top. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. Yes, who we are is pure spirit. Oh, who we are is pure spirit. That's exactly who and what we are, pure spirit. So let's take a look at our community affirmation. I won't ask you to stand today, but let's take a look at our community affirmation. And of course, this was taken from Dr. Holmes's Declaration of Principle, What We Believe, first published in Science of Mind magazine back in 1927. Let's say this together. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that all thought is creative, and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. Stream, but we're back. Hang on, let me back up here now. Yeah, we're back.
There I am.
There you are. Okay, so
Okay.
Lori's going to do our affirmation, and then we'll do the flames of faith, and then yeah, everyone is having services on YouTube. We can always watch it later. Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully we're back up now. So, and I see Lori on my iPhone, so I know that we're back up now. So go ahead, Lori. Let's lead us in the affirmation. And this is the affirmation right here. Okay. Let's see. The affirmation is here. Let me make it bigger. So go ahead, Lori. Lead us in the affirmation, and then we'll go to do the flames of faith.
Okay. So I'm going to read it, and then you're going to read it after me. I now consciously recognize and accept nurturing as strength. One more time, sing it, say it with me.
I
I
now
now
consciously
consciously
recognize
recognize
and
and
accept
accept
nurturing
nurturing
as
as
strength.
strength.
That's right.
One more time,
I
I
now
now
consciously
consciously
recognize
recognize
and
and
accept
accept nurturing
nurturing as
as
strength.
strength, and acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, honoring all forms of new thought, the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. And so at this time, I invite you to close your eyes if it is safe to do so, and let us move within. In this moment, we recognize, we acknowledge, we are clear that there is only this one infinite intelligence, this one all providing source that is ever present. And it is present right here and right now, right where we are, and always is right. It is right here within you and within all people, all over this planet, everyone experiencing this power, that we are not alone. Deep within, deep, deep within your heart is this loving presence, this pure spirit, perfect in every way, perfect in every cell of your body. But imagine right now, you are within the sanctuary of that heart, or the sanctuary of this High Desert Center for Spiritual Living. And you could look around and see your spiritual family smiling back at you, your life, right? So I would like you right now to take yourself in your arms and hug yourself. Just imagine that you are being hugged by your spiritual family. All of us are spiritually hugging you. Great love that being expressed because you are expressing spirit right now. So let us give thanks for this opportunity to be together. We are so grateful, so blessed. We're for Reverend Doug and his message today. It is awesome and it's going to lift us up. Thank you, Spirit, in each one of us right now. So I release my word. It is done. It is heard. The power of your word are the light of life. Let your light shine. And so
Thank you, Lori. That was a beautiful treatment. And thank you for being with us today via Skype. We're going to continue to experiment around. I'm gonna unskype you now, Lori, so you can go and watch the broadcast streamed. But I'm unskyping with Lori right now. Okay, good. So yeah, and there was I'm still getting the hang of which feeds in the mixer and whether my mic needs to be on or off or any of that stuff during that time. So we have a special video this morning from Reverend Karen Mitchell, and well, I hope you enjoy this. Here we go.
Sun comes up another day.
Ah, you gotta love Karen Mitchell. You gotta love her writing and her songs, and as Charles or Julie, I can't tell which, noted that Dave Blasucci is in that band too. He is actually her producer, and it was great to see. They just did a concert the other night, Friday night, and I put this out. Charles had asked me to put it out, and I put it on Facebook, because if you're not on Facebook, it doesn't make much difference. But CSL, Centers for Spiritual Living, is having a Friday evening and a Saturday evening concert at 6 o'clock our time. Friday evening this week was Amy Bishop. Saturday evening was Melissa and Z, who are coming to visit us in July. And next Friday night is Gary Floyd, and next Saturday night is Karen Drucker. So I love that song by Karen, and thank you guys all for the feedback. I think it was Deanna who said that the music needed to be turned up, so I turned it up. So anything you see, I'm still, I'm trying to get it all perfected here, as I actually rehearsed the whole service and everything beforehand so that it's nice and smooth. So in her song, Karen says, I don't know everything, but this I know is true. Nothing stays the same. There's always something new passing through. The only thing that never changes is that everything changes. But I am willing to go where I'm led to go. I'm willing to open up my heart. I'm fearless again. I'm dancing in the rain. I am willing to change. And boy, haven't we had the opportunity this week to see everything changing? I mean, like, wow. What in our lives is the same as it was only a few short weeks ago? I can tell you one thing, though, that hasn't changed. And of course, that is our teaching and the truth of it. At the very beginning of the textbook, Dr. Holmes writes, "These lessons are dedicated to that truth which frees man from himself and sets him on the pathway of a new experience, which enables him to see through the mist to the eternal and changeless reality." The eternal and changeless reality, and who among us hasn't experienced something completely new this week, or a lot of mist that we have to see through, from the unavailability of toilet paper everywhere to the complete sequestering of 40 million of us here in California. We are in completely uncharted territory on planet Earth, and yet our relationship with Spirit has not changed one bit. And that is the map of our spiritual journey, that our relationship with Spirit is unchangeable. It doesn't change. We call what we teach principle, and the principle is an unchangeable truth. And the truth that we teach, the principle of being, is that God is all there is. And we live in a cause and effect universe where what we think and what we believe has a direct influence on what we experience. That is the truth of who we are and how our life experience is managed here in, on planet Earth. See, the fixer of all things says, yep, some glitches, but cool that we have a techie preacher who incorporates the other stuff into our service. Some of the others are nothing but one guy holding a cell phone in the back of the room. Well, thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying it. This week we've had so much that we've had to take into account with the coronavirus and everything. And, Neil deGrasse Tyson, remember when we talked about him a couple of months ago, and he said that we are all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, and to the rest of the universe atomically. We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, and to the rest of the universe atomically. And aren't we really seeing the truth of that right now? How we really are all connected to each other biologically with this global pandemic experience that we're all sharing together. I mean, we're living in amazing times right now. We're living in amazing times. And so just to take care of a little bit of business here, this month we've been talking about honoring the divine feminine all month and Women's Month. And this week we're talking about nurturing as strength. And that includes exploring our ideas, beliefs, and possible misconceptions about nature, nurture, and strength as we gain a new appreciation for the variety of ways that life is expressing. And we have a lot of culturally inherited ideas, and we have to pay attention to what we've inherited from the collective consciousness, because we find that the longer we swim in a culture, the more invisible it becomes to us. The longer we swim in our culture, the more it becomes the norm for us in the back of our minds. And right now, and especially I think with the news of the pandemic, I think it would be very easy for us to give into fear many times during the day. I know I keep hearing more and more stuff that's like a call to prayer for me, more and more things that are calling me into knowing truth. Dr. Holmes, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said, "I live in the faith that there is a presence and a power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways that I could not even imagine. I know that this presence is all-knowing, all-power, and is always right where I am." And I think in today's paradigm with the pandemic situation and, well, look at California, 40 million of us, 40 million of us. Sharon's printing something on the printer behind me. That's really funny. She's printing something. Can you hear the printer? She's printing something. So, let me just text her. Hang on for 1 second. Let me go to Sharon here. Yeah, don't print while I'm broadcasting. Isn't that funny? Don't print while I'm broadcasting. So, in today's paradigm, I think it really takes courage to stay clear on our spiritual path, to stay clear in the truth rather than giving in to fear. And in our Science of Mind teaching, we learn to do our absolute best to daily turn within and reconnect to that presence that nurtures us and supports us. And when we do our spiritual practice, we learn to expect spirit to respond to us in a definite and dependable way. Dr. Holmes goes on to say, by expanding our understanding of the nature of God, we can see those aspects in ourselves and others until we're fully immersed in the oneness that we are. Until we are fully immersed in the oneness that we are. And, so we're talking today about nourishing, and that brings up the question to me, what is nurturing anyway? And nurturing simply means to nourish. It's the act of caring, of loving, of encouraging, of cheering on. I see so much of that right now, in our online family, our Facebook family. People are really reaching out to reassure and inspire each other right now. And so, I have to ask myself, you can ask yourself, who do I have to be and what do I have to know to encourage and care for my own growth and any other person right now during this time where fear could be so prevalent? To truly care for ourselves and any other person, we have to be people of strength, emotional maturity, and spiritual maturity. I mean, think of right now what it means to be a mother or a father or any family provider, whether you're in the context of a more traditional family unit or whether you're in the context of a family unit without a culturally inherited idea of gender identifications, head of the family, who's the head of our family, right? Nurturing simply means taking care of. And I know so many of us are doing that right now and every day, nurturing ourselves and nurturing our family units, nurturing each other. And to successfully do this, it's like radical self-care. It requires that we look inward and reflect and analyze our own behaviors and our emotions, as well as meet the needs of others in addition to our own needs. But, Again, what happens when we get afraid? And and first of all, I remember when I first started studying the science of mind, and Michael Beckwith used to say, if you're going to watch the news, remember two things. One, that the news never changes. It's just the same news happening to different people on different days. And right now the coronavirus news is all about who's getting infected and what state is shutting down and what the restrictions are on us and all of that. And he said, but the other thing to remember is that whatever you hear in the news, it's a request for prayer. It's a request for each of us to consciously connect to that inner voice, to consciously connect to that higher power, to consciously connect to our good. I'm in a 12-step program where we often talk about God's will. And as a religious science minister, I have to say, my understanding of universal truth is that if God has any will, any conscious will for us, it is simply that we live a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. That is God's will for itself. And so, since God is all there is, and I love the way that Dr. Ken Gordon prays when he says, I believe in God and absolutely nothing else. There is God and absolutely nothing else. You can't use God and in the same sentence because there's no God and anything. There's only God as. God is you, God is me, God is this universal paradigm. God is as the coronavirus, which is just another living entity on this plane of consciousness that happens to be that we don't have any antibodies for at this time around. Next time we'll see, right? But my friend Dr. Joe Hooper from Palm Desert CSL, he put this up on Facebook the other day, and it's called the 11th hour. I'm going to read this to you. There is an 11th hour in every demonstration of faith. It is the point at which fear in the individual reaches its crest. At this instant, which is probably a split-second measurement in mind, many people lose their most important battles with themselves. One more breath of faith, and their God ideal would have manifested. One more act of faith, and they would have broken through the particular pattern and freed themselves from its limitation forever. This is the moment of decision. Your faith has at last equalized your fears and doubts. The scales in your mind are perfectly balanced. Your next thought, affirmation, or prayer determines whether your fears and doubts lose to you or you to them. To lose this all-important battle of consciousness too often is to contribute to discouragement patterns which may one day seriously threaten your faith in the principle of mind and your ability to use it. Before you start your next important demonstration, determine at the outset how you are going to act at the 11th hour. And that was written by author Chet Castellaw. Yesterday, Charles Smith sent me a great article from Wired magazine about this guy, Larry Brilliant, the epidemiologist who helped eradicate smallpox. I mean, his videos are all over YouTube and TED describing what the next pandemic would look like. These were recent videos, and now it's here. And Dr. Brilliant, who's the chairman of the board of Ending Pandemics, is sharing his expertise with people on the front lines. The novel coronavirus has turned our world upside down. And in this article, it's in Wired magazine, you can find it online, Dr. Brilliant, who's now 75 years old, was asked, is there any way that there's a brighter side to this? And his answer was both as a scientist and as a person of faith. And he said, I always ask, isn't there a higher power that in some way is going to help us be the best version of ourselves that we could be? And what he's noticing is a lot of cool things, like young people, millennials, who are volunteering to take groceries to people who are homebound, like the elderly. I got a call the other day from members of ours who said, we're teachers and our kids are home right now, so we have 4 able-bodied people in our community who can help out. So let us know if you need any help. He's seeing, Dr. Brilliant is seeing an incredible influx of nurses, heroic nurses and heroic doctors who are coming and working many more hours than they worked before doctors who are fearlessly going to the hospital to work. And interestingly enough, it's not just nurses and doctors. Did you know that grocery store clerks were just named as essential emergency workers? I want to play this interview for you. This comes from NPR this morning. This was on NPR this morning on Weekend Edition. Listen to this.
America is stocking up and hunkering down, which is made possible by grocery store workers. They're putting in back-breaking hours so that people can stay fed and supplied. They've been designated as emergency workers in some states, and on Friday, Safeway said it would give employees a $2 hourly raise. Yesterday, we called up Michelle Lee. She's a cashier at a Safeway in Alexandria, Virginia, and she just got off work, and I asked her how she was doing.
I'm doing all right. It's been really busy today and my back is hurting a little bit, but I'm doing all right.
When you say your back is hurting, tell me a little bit about what your day looks like.
So it's been really, really busy. The lines are really long. Customers are buying two, three, $400 worth of groceries, and it's constant. It's nonstop, and they're buying products that will last a long time that aren't perishable.
What's it like when you see all these people swamping the grocery stores? How does it make you feel?
Um, I feel like sometimes I can't do enough. I want to do more, or I want to be able to keep the lines down
You
and
know, I'm
check the
gonna
customers out
I'm
faster.
gonna stop this and start it again because people noticed that it wasn't loud enough at the beginning, and I want you to hear the whole interview. So I'm just gonna start this again.
America is stocking up and hunkering down, which is made possible by grocery store workers. They're putting in back-breaking hours so that people can stay fed and supplied. They've been designated as emergency workers in some states, and on Friday, Safeway said it would give employees a $2 hourly raise. Yesterday, we called up Michelle Lee. She's a cashier at a Safeway in Alexandria, Virginia, and she just got off work, and I asked her how she was doing.
I'm doing all right. It's been really busy today and my back is hurting a little bit, but I'm doing all right.
When you say your back is hurting, tell me a little bit about what your day looks like.
So it's been really, really busy. The lines are really long. Customers are buying two, three, $400 worth of groceries, and it's constant. It's nonstop, and they're buying products that will last a long time that aren't perishable.
What's it like when you see all these people swamping the grocery stores? How does it make you feel?
Um, I feel like sometimes I can't do enough. I want to do more, or I want to be able to keep the lines down and check the customers out faster. But I've realized that I can only take care of one customer at a time.
Have they been empathetic to how you've been feeling?
Yes, quite a few times today, the customers have told me, thank you for working, thank you for being here. And that's been going on all week pretty much. They've been telling all of my coworkers thank you because they know that we're out there on the front lines taking care of them and we're putting ourselves at risk.
I was about to say you are putting yourself at risk. You have to be around people, lots of them, for many hours at a time. Are you worried about that?
Yes, I'm a little concerned because I know that I actually probably check out at least 200 customers a day. And we're wearing gloves, we're using hand sanitizer, we're washing our hands frequently. We haven't been wearing masks, but from my understanding, Safeway is supposed to be putting in some plexiglass, hopefully in the next week or so, to help divide us from the customers a little bit. Because we can't be 6 feet away from the customers, they're about 2 feet away from us.
I'm just curious. You've worked for Safeway for over 30 years. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I've never seen anything like this. It through every snowstorm, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen the shelves this empty. Even during 9/11, I didn't see anything like this. We cannot keep up with what the customers are buying, and the shelves are almost bare. We usually can recoup in 1 or 2 days. There's no recouping. They're buying the groceries so fast, we can't even fill the shelves up, and we have a lot of holes.
Do you feel like you're an emergency worker on the front lines? Because that's certainly how you're perceived.
Yes, I do, because people need to eat. You have to eat to live. So they have to come in the grocery store to feed their children and feed their families. And so, yes, I believe that we're on the front lines, just like the doctors and the nurses, just a different specialty.
Well, I want to thank you very much for what you're doing right now. We all appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Michelle Lee has worked for Safeway for more than 30 years, and she spoke to us from Alexandria, Virginia.
Wow. So, going back to Dr. Brilliant and what he was saying for a second, which is amazing. We're experiencing such a heightened sense of volunteerism in every area of our society right now, and that includes the kindness that people are expressing to each other when they do go out, when they do go to the store. I was out walking Xander this morning, and on the sidewalk, there's this house where I know there's four daughters, four little girls, and they had put this sign on the sidewalk this morning, and it said, "Hang in there, SCV," that's the Santa Clarita Valley, "have a great day. Hang in there, SCV, have a great day." I know these little girls. I see them when I'm out walking Xander in the neighborhood, and it's very sweet that they wrote this. Hang in there, SCV, have a great day. And, while Dr. Brilliant is acknowledging that these are really unprecedented and difficult times that will test us, when we do get through this, what we might experience might be like what our society experienced after World War II, causing us to re-examine what has inspired these fractional divisions that we've seen in our country over the last number of years. In his blog, The New Thought Evolutionary, this morning, my friend Dr. Jim Lockard, who's a retired CSL minister who's living in France, he wrote, "What we are called to do, actually called to be, is a better term. What we are called to be our best selves right now. And we realize our best selfhood by doing the necessary spiritual and psychological work to bring that innate selfhood to the surface of our lives. Our best self is open, magnanimous, kind, compassionate, and wise. This current situation with COVID-19 virus is calling that best self forward, but so do our ordinary lives call that best self, perhaps not as urgently, but the call is ever present." And then he includes this tweet from Marianne Williamson where she says, "It's the coronavirus now, but it could have been something else. It could have been a bioweapon or a nuclear disaster. Some symptom was bound to erupt of humanity's reckless and irresponsible behavior toward fellow human beings, to animals, and to nature. This is our wake-up call to change." That's Marianne Williamson on Twitter. So I'm going to ask us all again, are we willing to go where we're led to go? Are we willing to open up our hearts? Will we be fearless again, dancing in the rain, as Judy likes to say? Can we be willing to change? Can we be willing to change, And these times are potentially stressful. How can we deal with stressful situations? Well, certainly taking time for our spiritual practice every day is an important and very nourishing and nurturing experience. Recently, Deepak Chopra was asked how to help kids who are stressed out, and this is what he said for kids, and I think it's good for all of us. Let's take a look at this.
Remember, you're always your own best friend, and best friends say loving, positive things to one another. For instance, what would you say to a best friend who is discouraged or sad? How about, "You did great," or You are strong. Or, you are wonderful just as you are. Now, how about saying those words to yourself whenever you start to doubt the beauty of your light? If I was speaking to a parent who was concerned about their child and the child being too stressed, I would first question whether the parents are stressed or not, because children mirror the stress of their parents. And so it's more important for the parents to meditate if they want to teach their children how to meditate. Children will not listen to advice at all, ever, unless they see an example of it. So you can have a hyper-stressed parent telling their child to meditate. It doesn't work. So that's the first advice I would offer. And then I would say make it playful, create a ritual of 5 minutes or 10 minutes during the day. We can all sit quietly, observe the breath, even count the breath, by the way. Even count backwards from 100, 99, 80, etc. It's a way of quietening the mind. Or count your breath, count to 4 as you inhale, pause for a couple of seconds, count to 4 as you exhale. Simple things like that in the beginning.
I know that those of us who've been trained in transcendental meditation, it's so true for life. It's just like bring yourself back to spirit. Bring yourself back to your breath. Bring yourself back to the now. Don't get stuck in fear. I want to leave you today with this thought from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. And he said, when you become confused, stop and listen to your inner calm. Turn from the confusion to that deeper something within. Say, I am submerged in peace. I am surrounded by peace. I am immersed in peace. There is nothing but peace. Peace, deep, calm, undisturbed. Yes, peace, deep, calm, undisturbed. So let's take a moment to, let me just ask you guys to all just simply join me in prayer. Let me go ahead and put this music on. Make sure it's not too loud. There we go. Let's breathe. Let's go into that peace that Dr. Holmes was talking about. Let's take this moment now to simply center ourselves, to nurture ourselves, to nourish ourselves with a conscious connection to a higher thought, a conscious connection to our good, aligning ourselves with that infinite, unlimited source of all good, aligning ourselves with that infinite source of love, infinite nourishment and nurturing. And know this: there is one life, only one life. There is God and absolutely nothing else. And I believe in God and absolutely nothing else. And I know that this life is perfect. This life is my life now, and the life of each of us in our High Desert Center for Spiritual Living community, each of our families, our friends, our community, wherever we are, Apple Valley, the Victor Valley, Santa Clarita, California, USA, planet Earth. There is only one thing that's ever happening, and that is the life of God living itself through and as each of us in each and every moment, in peace and in love, in safety and in health. And so I bless us all right now in this moment, and I know that all is well. I know that this week we are safe as we shelter in place or go to wherever we need to go. I know that our supplies are stocked, our hearts are full, and our minds are clear as we get rid of negation, doubt, and fear and sit in this knowingness of that divine life, our divine source. And I simply know and express that all is well. And as I gratefully release my word into that loving law, releasing my word into the action of law as it takes that word and makes manifest this experience right now, I bless us, I bless our day and our week, and together we affirm this blessing by saying, and so it is, and so it is. And so it is. I remind you that as that prayer so eloquently expresses to me, that God in us, as us, is us. And of course, I have a backronym for us this week. It's nurture. Nature is our universal reality, the ultimate renewable energy. Nature is our universal reality, the ultimate renewable energy. And our affirmation for this week, and thank you again, Lori, for joining us as practitioner today. We'll get it even better for next week. I now consciously recognize and accept nurturing as strength. I now consciously recognize and accept nurturing as strength. And of course, our 2020 vision for this year is one life in focus. And as Dr. Holmes reminds us, our life is perfect God, perfect human, and perfect being. Perfect God, perfect human, and perfect being. Now, it was asked earlier in the service. Now, last week, our service was interrupted, and a lot of people did not come back on. And I need to, of course, talk about tithing, because during this time, this is our income, our tithing from last week was down a ton. And if we want to be able to keep our doors open, and we want to be able to keep providing the services that we're providing, and how are you enjoying the callback system and the messages? I did get one message from somebody who said, "Stop calling me so much." But almost everybody else is universally telling me that they're really enjoying. That's why I didn't even do any announcements today, because I can just announce it to you through texting and through voice messages. I do think that our office is going to start to be more closed as of this week, and we're going to transition Brandy as office manager into a home, working from home for a while until we get this all figured out. But we will have some times when the office is open. I know Joanne really wants to come in and do some volunteer time to make sure that we have some access to live office. And if you want to be able to drop off tithes and stuff like that, or sit in the sanctuary and pray, sit here in the sanctuary and pray. But I want you to know that you can, of course, go to the Give Plus mobile app, and give to HDCSL. And you can also designate. Charles let me know that there's a bunch of different ways you can designate your tithe. You can designate it for class. You can designate it for general fund. You can designate it for circle. And then, of course, you can go to our website. And you can also just mail us or show up in person when there's somebody there. But you can mail us your tithe at High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, 18575 Corwin Road, Apple Valley, California. And of course, that our web address is high-desertcsl.org, high-desertcsl.org. So let's do our giving affirmation now. And here's the giving affirmation. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And of course, whenever I do any transaction, I remind myself, I bless this gift in faith, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And Charles just texted in and said, or drop the contribution checks in the mailbox, which you can do that too. And we're very much appreciative of your support. So I want to thank you all who've joined us today. How many have we got online? We got 44 online right now. I know that's 44 logins, and I know that not all of you are with other people, but not all of you are by yourselves either. So it looks like a good percentage of us got to hang out in person today. I hope you enjoyed the service. I'm going to continue to try and I think next week or the week after, Emily Caruth is going to sing a song she's going to send in a song. I know Gary Floyd is going to send in a performance for us, a song for us to use, or Gary might even Skype in on Sunday. And so I just want to thank you all for joining us, and go out and have or stay in and have a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I might actually go and get in some fresh air on my motorcycle before the rain comes. It's about to rain. Let's see. Christy says, thanks so much and blessings. Fred Wilbanks sent a prayer. Monica says, loving the message, and the Give Plus app works great. Let's before we go, let's do a little singing together. Let's sing. Actually, maybe I'll just do this on guitar this time. Hang on. Yeah. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. I know that the infinite indwelling Spirit blesses and protects you. I know that Spirit is kind and gracious through you. And I know that Spirit shines its light upon you and is your peace. And so it is. Amen. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is. One more time. Life is good, and so it is. Have a great week, everybody. Namaste, and you'll be hearing from me on our messages and our texts. I love you. Be well.
Can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. Make me feel so good, I can do most anything. I am loving every little